I want to show you a few of the problems, especially with this water-cooled head, which is a very fine, one of the best heads I've had. But the bigger the components that you use, the tighter the space it is. In order to get the CT manifold right here off of your intake here, you have to take the top part off. That is the top part. You take 4 bolts out. To get the bottom one out, which is I'm trying to do, it has also 4 bolts. And you can see that I turn this just a little bit, and then I have to pull it out and do it again. It's very, very time consuming because of where the water or plumbing, as I call it, is, and how big the intake is. Now let's take a look at this. What we've seen is the TAIDA is a lot larger than this, which means that I may still have the same problem with the bolts. When you build an engine, what the nice part about it is you can put everything together first except the plumbing or the water. But if you have the water already in, and you're not going to take it off because it's a pain in the ass, excuse my language, sorry YouTube, then you have to take these little bolts out little by little. So we go over to my test engine to show you in real life what the TAIDA looks like. The TAIDA, instead of 4 of these little bolts, it has 2 of the little ones in the back, and it has 2 of these tiny bolts for the front, or right here. Now this intake is so large, okay, and I've already put 1 bolt in. They go in from the underside, and they're smaller, so what they'll do is they'll fit in the hole without hurting the threads, but they hold everything from the underside. And you can see the 2 other bolts that are they're already gone through. You have to be careful that the variator is going to be right here, so nothing can hit against it. A good thing to do, if you could, would be to take a drill bit and make a small kind of a, what do they call it, a very small kind of a stovepipe, so you can get this outer screw here, you could get it more flush with the block. It'll hold it better. Plus your variator and your belt are going to come around here. You don't want your belt to hit anything, especially at high speed. The belt, what it can do is it stretches, it flaps up and down. You can see where it's hitting right here, where I've fixed it. It can, if it hits steel, it's going to rip the belt, especially at high speeds. So here again, we're back to the same problem. We have a gigantic intake here, and we've got 2 little tiny ports. We have a gigantic reed cage, very nicely done. It fits right here, but we still have the problem with a very small intake that fits right here. This intake hole right here should be as big as this, right here. By the books, if you did it by the books. Now another thing too is that this whole unit is a lot larger, so I've already got the plumbing on my bike. I don't know how easy or hard it's going to be to get these 2 back bolts in, because it's a lot larger, and I'm not going to take off the plumbing. I'm not going to change the water or anything like that in order to put this on. I have to be very careful. Now, a lot of people have told me that this TAIDA intake, along with the SudCo 32 millimeter right here, I think it's 32. This is what it is right here. That this intake and that carburetor make this bike go like a bat out of hell. I don't know if it does or not, but then after that, I'm going to be putting on this electronic ignition right here. You can see where it says NYC something or other. These are supposed to be great for speed. But the one thing about, if you're going to build a bike, okay, do one thing at a time. If the bike runs, put it on a new carb, adjust it, get it right. Don't put on the carb and put on the electronics and something screws up. You don't know what exactly does or doesn't work. Just do one modification at a time. Alright, and then what I have to do is, since this camera is so expensive, I have to go wash my hands every time I take something apart, because I don't want to get any residue on this expensive camera. So hopefully I can upload all this without having to use the cloud or whatever the hell that is. I've got 2 trilobytes of memory, and I'll be damned if I'm going to pay $7 a month for more of it. I don't need it. That doesn't make any sense to me. I should be able to upload this video to my computer memory and then upload it to YouTube. So I've got to figure it out. I mean, I'm trying. I really am trying. So we continue, and I think I've got 3 videos so far, maybe. All right. Rock on.